Hey guys, want to make a UFO ET encounter experience I had while living in Woodslee, Ontario, with me and just me. And this is going to be a long, hard one to understand, and I'll try to explain it the best I can. It has to do with reality and the illusion, and this is it on my nose. Fuck. Anyway, I had to point that out since it's obvious. So I am living in St. Lucian. No, scratch that. I am living in reality on the earth. Take two. No, I'll leave it in. I don't give a shit. Anyway, I am living in Woodslee, Ontario, and I'm living there while I do work. Anyway, one day I go to sleep. It's around midnight, and I lay down and go to bed. Um, I had a, I just fell asleep. I then woke up, nothing was going on, took a piss, went back to sleep in my bedroom. I then went into this dream, and it has to do, in the dream was my friend Dave. And Dave, he never seen a UFO till he met me, and then he saw one. The same day we were talking about it. The day I met Dave, we started talking about UFOs, and he was blown away by it because he loved that stuff, but he never seen one. He went home after our conversation and saw one over the house, like 20 stories high, round sphere flying. He said it was like a ball bearing. That's what it looked like. And I go, that's them. And this is in the late 90s, 2000, somewhere around there. Anyway, that's Dave, my buddy, and he is in the dream. So I lay down in the dream, and we're driving a car at night, and we're going to Woodslee, where I live, where I'm sleeping. And all of a sudden, outside the car, we see a UFO, a light in the sky, and we're following it with the car. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. It's really late. There's no other cars on the street, and we're following this thing. And then we come to a crossroads, and then we get out, and we both have cameras, and we're both taking pictures of it in the dream. And we get back in the car, get in the car, and we chase it again. We chase it into, I think it's like a Wheatley or Woodslee. Wheatley is just a little over along Lake Erie. But either way, it's a town. I couldn't really differentiate which town it was. It was either Wheatley or Woodslee. If you don't believe me, Google it. Anyway, before we get to the town, we get out of the car. And I think the car caught on fire at this point. So we had to put the fire out. So we put the fire in the engine out. The engine caught on fire. And we put it out. I put it out. Somehow, I don't know. We put it out. This dream was 30 years ago, 25 years ago. It's hard to remember, man. So, but anyway, that's what happened. Then we didn't have a car anymore, but we're just outside of town. So we start running down the road with our cameras, and this UFO is over the town. And it's like a white orb, sphere probe. But there's people in it. There are occupants inside. I can feel them. If there were no occupants and it was just a probe, I wouldn't feel the occupants inside. They'd be somewhere else, cloaked. But I know through experiences that there's nothing in there. Anyway, so we're trying to take pictures of it over the town. And Dave He stops and he sees a lizard on the road. A lizard. He starts chasing the lizard on the road, on the path, the road that leads into Woodslee or wherever. He starts running in there and he's chasing this fucking lizard. It looks like an iguana, but that long, sort of. And he's chasing. He's like, "Look at the iguana!" Look, and he's running around chasing it. And I'm going, "You're missing it, Dave." And he don't care. He just wants to chase the lizard. And so I don't understand why he's chasing the lizard and trying to take pictures of the lizard. It's just a fucking lizard. There's a UFO over the town. Then, as we get closer to the town, fires break out in the town. And I get close and I'm in the town and I'm looking down the street, different streets. I'm at a crossroads and there's different streets. And the school's on fire. School is on fire. There's no people. I don't see no people. And I look and I'm like, shit. And I look over at other things. The library's on fire. And the church, the Catholic church or Christian church, big old churches from back in the day, it's on fire. Then people's houses start catching on fire, like normal houses in the suburbs and shit. And it's spreading, the fire's spreading through the houses. The fire department is on fire because we went to the fire department to get the firemen and it was on fire. And I'm like, holy shit, the whole town's on fire. And then I woke up and I could feel the sound of crickets, a field of crickets at night is in my head. The UFO is flying over the house. My seeds, I can feel them from my heart. I can feel the ETs, and they're slowly passing over. I think they stopped. And I'm laying there, and I'm feeling them, but I ain't afraid. It's love, man. It's like Jesus Christ. Same thing as Jesus Christ. Love, compassion. At this point, I don't go back into the dream, but as soon as I attach my soul and I feel them, I'm now in their vibe. Okay, I sort of go to sleep again because there's nothing I can do. They're flying over, and I feel them, but that's it. Now I'm thinking there's 500 times I've run outside with my camera trying to get a picture of a UFO. But I already instinctively know from how I'm feeling them that they are fucking in orbit, man. And I ain't getting no picture at night with my crappy camera. That's all there is to it. I already know that. So my decision was to just lay here and see what happens. So I'm laying there. I'm feeling them flying over. Just like you feel your mom or anything else, but 10 times worse. The intensity of it. And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I just fell asleep again. I fell asleep. But I'm still feeling them. And now I can see the craft. I can see the craft just like a sphere in the sky flying over. Great big sphere, way up there, way up outside Earth's or atmosphere. Then I reach out to it. I reach out. I'll go, hey guys, hey. I'm waving. I'm like, hey guys. Just nothing going on here. I'm just, hey guys, hey. And it's like they're flying over and they're saying hi. And that's the extent of it. And so I'm waving to them. And all of a sudden, the UFO stops. And I'm like, oh shit, it stopped. I'm like, that's cool, man. That's really cool. And all of a sudden, this isn't a dream now. I'm dreaming again, but I'm with the ETs because I hooked up to them. And we're in the illusion. Then I let me just get this straight. It's been a while. I'm reaching out, saying hi. It stops. I sort of get excited, and then the UFO stops, and I can see it. It's really close. It's like not far away, like and all of a sudden these two protrusions come out the side, and they open up into like solar panels, and these two huge solar panels fall down, and it looks like a satellite, with the solar panels on the side and the round thing in the middle. But on the solar panels, each of the solar panels, I go up real close to the solar panel, and I'm looking at it, and it's got all life forms in levels. The top life forms are DNA and bacteria, or DNA stuff. Then it has the next level down, it has cellular life forms like bacterias and shit like that. Then the life forms get bigger, and the life forms get bigger, and the life forms get bigger, and then the life forms get bigger to where they're like cats and dogs and animals, and then they get bigger to where they're extraterrestrials, pictures of different extraterrestrials, offshoots of the main extraterrestrials. Anyway, that is what one panel showed, from bacteria to the extraterrestrials on their planet, the whole evolution on their planet, on a panel of the satellite in a dream. Oh, holy shit! And I want to take pictures, but it was, they were just letting me see it, I guess, because they stopped. I then went to the other panel, and it was all water. And it started off with the little micro DNA things, and it had elements in it, but I couldn't tell what the fucking elements were. I'm not an element analyzer guy, so I don't know, but there were elements. Then they had bacteria. Then they had another one, and it was in water because it was blue. This one was all earthy color and plants and trees and life forms. This one is all water. And it showed all the water up until it showed all the water animals, the evolution of the water animals, and then it showed at the bottom the top water animals on that evolved on their planet, and they were still in the water. So there you go. Anyway, I didn't see no people. I saw like higher level dolphin things, but I don't know. There's a big chain, hundreds of pictures, hundreds. You could look at each one in detail, but I didn't have time. Anyway, I'm like, holy shit, that is cool, man. That's really cool. And then all of a sudden, I started coming back after I saw it all. I'm like, that's cool, man. That's cool. I go, we got something like that, but we're all fucked up. And anyway, I get back to my bed and I wake up and I'm still feeling the dream. Okay, I'm still feeling the dream, but I'm not in the dream now. I'm awake in my bed, but I'm still feeling the ETs in my heart. Then I go back. I go back into the illusion, the dream. I'm in the dream, and I'm looking at the sphere again. And all of a sudden, a hand comes out of the sphere, and I was waving, hey, I see the panels, and the hand comes out, and reaches out and touches my hand like this. And we're touching each other. And I went, oh, and I pulled back. And then I pulled away because I was freaked out. Then the UFO started going. And I went, hey, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. So it stopped. It came back. And I was reaching out again. And this time it came and touched my hand again. Then it started pulling me out of my body like this. Like the hand was pulling me out of my body. And I woke up consciously, but I wasn't afraid. And I'm leaving my body and I'm starting to go with them. And I'm just about ready to leave. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing this. This is totally unknown to me, right? And I went, whop, back in my body, but I'm still holding her hand. And I'm like, I can't go. I can't go. I can't go. And I'm like, and then she sort of let go, but it was all love. It was all love. We're all love. And the seeds, when I'm glowing, and my fucking seeds are glowing like crazy. Then they started to leave, and I got sad because I wanted to go. And I don't even know if they look like, so I can't tell you. But the hand looked like a woman's hand, which was even better. But I don't know. Anyway, then I come back and they're leaving. I'm awake in my bed now, but I'm still watching through my soul, and they're leaving. And I'm thinking, should I go outside and try to get pictures? And I'm like, oh, fuck it. All of a sudden, boom, I'm back in the city, and the city's burning. Fire. Churches, schools, libraries, government buildings, cars, houses are all burning on fire. But I was farther back from the burning. I found I was where I was up close to the city looking for help because the houses and everything were on fire. When I came back into the dream, I was way out in the country again, watching the city almost on the horizon burning. Like you can see the glow and you can see the fire coming up. The whole city is burning. And there are other cities, other places, other buildings I couldn't see that were on fire. Just big fires all the way out to the horizon burning, like miles apart. Like this is, let's say Wheatley's burning. Then there's a building over here, way over here, miles, 50 miles away, and it's burning. Other cities all along the horizon. And Lake Erie is right behind that. Then I woke up and it was over. But now let's go into this dream. That was a real ET experience. But it has to do with dream space, the astral world, and the illusion, and reality. All right. Now I woke up. What the fuck was Dave doing? Me and Dave were in the dream. I was with him in spirit. We're both astral traveling in a dream, but we're astral traveling, dreaming. So it ain't really a conscious astral travel. It's a dream astral travel. We're dreaming and we're together. And he starts chasing a lizard. What the hell's a lizard got to do with anything? He started chasing the lizard. To me, after 20 years, he started chasing the bullshit that was on the TV. The lizard people. Okay. There's some credibility to it. There are lizards, and they're probably the lizard vibe. Like the scum that rule us. That. But the real deal, I was following the real deal. When we get to the city, Dave runs off in the fucking cornfields chasing a lizard. He's gone. He just left. I never saw him again in the dream. He was off chasing lizards. I'm chasing the ETs. The ETs were over top of the city and fires started. Now you can think that they started the fires, but it's a dream symbolic representation. It's a dream symbolic representation of cause and effect. What the ETs are saying and what the dream is saying to me with the fires is you're fire starters. You live in fear. Fear, chaos, panic. And no, we ain't doing that to your population. I woke up, the ETs are still there. In my heart, I'm hooking up to the ETs spiritually. I'm aligned with their vibe now. And they reach out and we hold each other's hands and they show me their evolution from their planet. And I was blown away. I was blown away. Then, and that's what you can do in the astral, in the illusion, with another person, with another race of ETs. I come back to Earth and the fire. I'm back away. Now I'm farther away from the fear and the panic and the fire and the chaos. By touching her hand, the ET reached out in spirit, grabbed my hand in spirit. I woke up and we're still holding fucking hands. My fear is gone because I'm using my heart. She lets go of my hand. She goes away. I'm laying on my bed and then I fall asleep again. Boom, I'm into the fire, but I'm further away from the fire. A lot further away. Which is I'm further away from the fucking chaos, the fear, and the population. Because when people see, when the ETs explain to me consciously and unconscious in dream space, fires, fire starters. We're the fire starters. We start fires from the fear. And that's what the fire represents in dreams. Linda, now, same place. I've had dreams before. Now, this is a separate case where Linda would have a dream. She'd go outside and there'd be a UFO in the sky. And she goes, hold on, I'll get Rich. You want to talk to Rich? I know you do, because that's all Rich talks about. So she goes in the house and tries to find me. I come out with her, and there's no UFO there. And she says the UFO crashes into the earth, and a big fire erupts. She don't know much about ETs, but she accepts it. And what she told me about her dream was they come to see Rich. If they show themselves to anybody else, they'll create a fire. People will see the UFO as landing and we're being invaded. A firestorm. It's crashing. Fear. Aliens around us. There are, but you don't see it. That's what the ETs, if you're dreaming of ETs and you're dreaming of fire with the ETs, that's what it represents. The fire starters are not the ETs. They're just living within the natural law, coming to visit us. We're the ones who go fucking batshit crazy in our heads, can't deal with it. And that's just a UFO. You don't want to see them in the face to face. I did. Spiritually and physically. So what I'm saying is, well, it was spiritual, physical. Well, I think maybe once I did get abducted. 10 years old, but I don't remember it. I have pieces, very little pieces of it. But anyway, that's what it represents in dreams. The firestorm created by everybody seeing the UFO. The UFO is in the sky. You can't see it. The people that do see it, if they did see it, if the fucking thing flew over, right over your house, big and low, and thousands in the whole city saw this UFO, this big ass UFO, it creates a firestorm, fear and panic, and chaos. Then you run and you kill your children because you're fucking nuts. And that's what the dream represented. But the dream represented me was I was dealing with my fear. I wasn't a part of the panic because I got further away from it the second time. Dave started chasing the lizard, which led him off a different path. I went to the fires and were trying to put them out by getting help, but there was no one around. Do you see? That's why I'm making these videos. So you can get over and identify your own shit in your head. When I say you gotta take away everything that's in your fucking head, good or bad or for what an indifference, and learn to see through your heart, that's what you gotta do. You gotta unlearn everything since birth and see it and unlearn it or let it go as bullshit. Not all of it. Follow natural law, follow your heart. That's it. It's huge. It's over lifetimes. People die. People will die for someone they never seen. A president. They worship him like a fucking god. He slaves them out, and you're a fucking slave. You worship police. There's people that worship the police. There's people that worship the fucking church. It's all bullshit. Has nothing to do with anything. All that you see on the earth, all the bullshit ideologies and controls, mechanisms, it's all bullshit. Everything on the fucking TV, get rid of it. And for truth, you want to know truth? Do you want to know what the fucking truth is? Do you want to know? This is what Christ told me. After a huge, long debate where we were ripping each other apart verbally. But we're still buds, but you know. He goes, in the end of it all, the truth is your experience. Share it with me. And if you want to be a Christian, you got to share it. Now, when you're a Christian and he takes all your experiences, you're sharing it with all Christians so they can learn and move on. Because I have unique experiences, you have unique experiences, good or bad. They can take that and show people they can live your experience before they even experience it themselves. I've never been to war in this lifetime because before I came to this earth, I went to Christ and he gave me programs in dreams. When you know that little thing they put on your tongue, you go, and they stick it on your tongue. It's a little cracker or whatever the fuck it is. That's what it looks like. He puts it. You just touch it. And you go into a dream. And what that cracker is the person's experience. So all the people that were in World War II, fighting World War II, you want to know what war is like? You don't have to live it. You can live it through someone else's experience. So, this guy had an experience in World War II. Christ takes that experience, puts it on this little cracker thing, which is like a chip. He gives it to you. You stick it in your mouth in a room with Christ, and you live the guy's experience in the illusion, in a dream. You get the fear, you get the panic, you get this everything. Watching all the innocent kids die, get blown up, getting shot to death. You get to see it all, and you'll remember it forever. Then, when you're born on this earth, you don't have to go to war. You don't have to sign the contracts to be a military guy. because you've already experienced it with Christ and the guy who died in World War II, be it the Nazi side or the Ally side. That's what Christ does. You don't got to experience it. I'm having ET experiences. Christ is taking all my experiences to share them with other Christs and other people who are ready for it. They're not going to give Julie, my daughter, who lives in St. Lucian, it's not physical. I have no family, nothing. But in the spirit world, I do. They're not going to give World War II experiences to Julie. All right? She's fucking 4 years old. She's just been born last year or the year before. So they ain't going to give that. But people who are coming to Earth, who are thinking about going to war, Jesus goes, well, before you go to war, maybe you want to experience it, which I took as Christ. Give me some war scene. Give me some fucking brutal shit. And he goes, you got it, bro. He gives them to me, fucking as many as I want, many extremes as I want, many situations, any situation, because he's got all the experiences, and he gives them to you. So you can experience it, so you don't have to go to war. Now, what you got to do is, if you remember these experiences in this life, just know that not everything is your past life. Those are just experiences from Christ, which are different from your experiences, but they're still experiences. And the truth is, the only truth is your experience. Once you live that experience, once you own that experience and you do the right thing in that experience, well, you get some fucking seeds, which to the mountaintop and beyond. All right, guys. So that's my ET thing between reality, spiritual, symbolic representation of the fires. And that whole dream explained to me a ton. Remember, the fires were up close. I almost went into the fire as a panic, but I didn't. When I came back after touching the girl's hand on the UFO, spiritually, consciously, I came back to the dream, and the fires were on the horizon. I'm further away from the fear and panic and psychopathic shit. And now you got the UAPs who are coming to kill us all. So you keep watching that fucking CNN. All right? Keep watching the government programs. Don't talk to the aliens. Don't experience the ETs for yourself, in your own heart, for your own truth. CNN will give it to you. I'll end with that. Have a good day.